Hi, this is a continuation of our data binding, view binding videos. The previous one you check mostly that is a view binding thing. Now I am just going to show you. We'll just see the recap of the view binding. We have to before using the view binding, you have to use this enable the view binding in your build gradle file, and you must need this Kotlin compact for data binding and view binding. So don't forget to you implement these two things, and then you don't want to do anything in XML file for view binding. Okay, so every attribute you need a id, that is important. Then instead of things you can hold everything, we can use data binding directly in your code. So this is a view binding directly in your code. This is a view binding advantage. So now let's get into the data binding. Okay, uh, I think you guys see this video, you don't need this anymore. I'm just removing these things. Let's remove the data view binding thing, and I am for view data this is about data binding. So for data binding we have to change this one, data binding is equal to true. Okay, I think we don't need view binding. I'm just removing view binding and I just sync the file. Okay, let's wait for the sync. It will download everything and the source will be there. And the same procedure, what are the things change means you don't want the same advantage of view binding the data binding will have. You don't want to use find view by id and all those things as like you used before. Instead of that, you can use directly the data binding class. Data binding also will generate the separate class for XML file. If whenever you are calling a XML file, creating a XML file, the data binding will create one XML binding file. Then you can ask like why this is showing error. Last time while using view binding, this is not showing this error. We can call the activity file directly. But this time what happened means in data binding you have something, you have to encapsulate the whole XML thing inside a layout. Okay, so whatever you are having in your XML, it must be inside layout class. Okay, so if you are doing everything inside layout class, so whenever you put layout class, the data binding must realize that the XML class which will have the layout, the data binding need to create one more class for binding. But in view binding it's not like that. It will create the whole application a new data binding class, but data binding won't do that like that. Data binding will do only the particular layout which you put like this XML layout. Okay, fine, I think you got it. Whenever you are putting the layout file in the XML file, it will generate on automatic generate file. Now you can see this is fine. I think if you are when you are adding this layout, the error is gone because the file is generated. So this is as like same view binding. There is no difference. You can use directly by id call. Then you can ask like what is the difference between view binding and activate data binding. Just tell me that. Yeah, I'm going to tell now. So the thing is, you can directly use this class or use your Java class inside XML. I know you won't believe. Let me show you. Okay, so data binding will have specific feature, specific tag, that is data. Okay, so inside data tag you have two things. You can import something or you can import variable. Let me show you the variable thing. Variable means I'll just create view model. So view model, we don't have any view model class. Okay, so I'll just create one view model class here. Data binding view model. Okay, I created data binding view model. It is extends view model. Okay, so we are going to use this view model inside this activity. So this is normally like you are creating a variable. We are creating one variable inside a XML file. Okay, so I am creating a variable like how we will create variable here. We will create one object and we will instantiate with whichever the class we need. So this is a class. So in job activity class, in Kotlin class, we are giving this class name here, means we are importing the base thing over somewhere here, somewhere around here. Okay, so we are extending this one, means we are having the package of this one here. We are using this one, means we are having the data binding thing over here. Okay, so the things is like that. So here we have a class name, but the importation is having over there. But in activity in XML, it won't be like that. You have to give the whole package name, which means like this is a module, this is a view model class, right? So I am just copying this view model package and I am pasting over here, pasting over this type dot view model. Okay, so now this view model will have all the item which this data binding view model will have. Okay, that's true. Let me show you. Let me show you the things like you have to do two things. So this is come under MVVM architecture, but if you are confused, I will put some separate video for MVVM with data binding architecture. That one we will get deep into it. So for now, let's see this one. So data binding, I am not going to add anything over here right now, but we have to use this view model thing in this activity. So for that, where data binding view model. Okay, we just created a data binding view model class over here. Okay, then after creating by view model, it has to create no, then okay, we have to create our things, then fine. So in if you are using data binding, we don't want to use this set content view. Instead of that, you can call like this data binding util dot set content view. This is an activity, which means this. So we have to give r dot I think we have to import this, import r dot activity data binding. Okay, so this binding will hold everything. We don't need that set content view, because instead of that we are setting the whole thing in here. Okay, but if you see activity binding dot, you have everything, right? But plus you have this view model as a getter and setter, which means this view model variable name we created over here. Okay, this view model, instead of will like I say local new model, I am creating local view model over here. So in the local view model, when I am creating here, I am going to find here, okay, dot local view model. See, so this is a getter for the class instance. So we can't create an instance inside the XML. Instead of creating a instance inside the XML, we are passing from activity. Okay, we are passing from activity this instance directly to here. So this is a null right now. We have to initialize this one. Okay, we initialize this one and we passed over here. Okay, so what you have to do, I am okay, you don't know actually. Now the question will occur like, okay, we created a variable, what is the use of this variable, right? There is a big use of this variable that I need to show you right now. So the thing is, let's see, you have this name text age text gender text, right? We are going to create one variable inside here. Okay, where name text is equal to string. Okay, age text, I'll just text. mm, Gender text, place text. Okay, so we have 4 variables over here. All are mutable variables only. So fine. So you can assume like this data view model, right? This view model we instantiate our view model will have all the items. Data view model dot, you can see all the variables, right? So I'm just showing it, so we don't need that. So the thing is, this data view model have all the variable, in the sense I am sending the same instance to this local view model in the binding in the sense XML. So this XML will have this local view model. You can use this local view model and you can show the data over here. Okay, I'm data over here, or you can take the input from here. I'm just showing text. Okay, so there is a syntax called, this is a syntax. Okay, this is a syntax. You can call local view model, right? This is a name text. So now what will be happen if I am setting any data inside this activity, it will reflect in the text box, as well as this is a one-way binding. So if you want to, as well as when you are changing here, it needs to affect in the activity, means you have to give here equal. Okay, so this is a two-way binding. Now it is a both way. When you are changing in XML, it will change, and when you are changing in an activity, then also it will change. So both place it will change. Okay, so the same thing you are going to do for all the edit texts. Okay, so this is age text. Okay, this is gender text. So this is place text. Okay, so this is fine. We are enabled all the things in the text view. Okay, fine. So you are thinking this one we need, binding thing we need. Actually we don't need binding. Actually what we need is view model dot name text. That's it. You can get the data directly from view model. Okay, view model dot age text, like that you can directly. So actually you can think we can use the data binding itself. Why we are using view model here? Actually binding itself the same, no, but we are going to move this save button to view model. This is the architect. We are changing the architecture right now from MVC to MVVM. You can't take the binding direct. Binding means it's holding the whole activity constant. You can't take the directly to the view model. So instead of that, we are taking only these things from gender text and here activity to binding. Okay, so this is fine, and the same thing over here also. So that time I will show you when we are changing over here. So this is a click action, so we can perform the click action itself from here. Okay, for this click action you have to create one function inside this local. Okay, fun save click. So all binding functions will have the first variable of view. Okay, that is a syntax, because all the save function which have the first variable of view. You can have second parameters at that parameter. You can pass all the whole thing inside through this. That's not a problem, but first parameter will be view, because view in the sense it will be this item. Whenever you are calling, if I am calling that in button, means the button instance will come inside. So I am here, I am calling the on click, right? The same. So this syntax is for calling the button. Okay, local view model dot save click. So okay, so this is a parameter we are taking from here and we are passing over here. Okay, so now this click function will go to this click. Now you will know why I change. What we are going to do here. I am copying this one and I am pasting here. Okay, so actually we don't need any of these things. We just We just only need the variable name from the thing. So you can pass all those things. Okay, so make text. This will not work because this is not a activity constant. So you have activity constant. So what we can do, we have a view, no, from the view we can get constant view dot context. So now it will work. So the same action, but we did in two places. I just comment this one. Okay, I am just commenting this one, and what we did is I'll just run and we'll check, then I'll explain shortly. Okay, okay, it is running, it is taking time a little bit. Okay, it runs. Okay, so you can see in activity we don't have anything, but we are connecting the view model to the binding class inside the XML. We are sending this, we are setting the value to this variable, and this variable is acting inside here in that all the text views, and for the click action also this variable is working. Okay, this variable is directly sending transferring us to this class. Okay, so now I am giving variable to name is okay Mari, is 30, gender is male, place is India. Okay, when I am clicking here, you just see it is showing. So for you I can demonstrate, like I'll put debug and I am showing you how it is working. Okay, we put like so, when I am clicking it is coming here, you can see, right? So see all the variables are coming in the text view itself, in the variable itself, because we are binding over here. So nice, no? I think if you are seeing this one is the first time, you guys are so impressed, because I got impressed when I am doing it first time. So I want to show it to you. So this is not a only thing you can do in data binding. So you can do much more thing. You can create this text size adapter, like on adapter you can pause, you can, without using activity, you can initialize and put the data in recycler view. All those things we can do. We will see it in upcoming videos. For I think this is a good start for data binding. Yeah, if you guys let's, before I am finishing, I'll just go through the quick review like that. I'll just remove this one, we don't need this. Okay, so this is our activity class. So surprise, no, this is our activity class, this is a view model class, this is it, only 10 to 20 line of code, and in the XML itself we did everything. Okay, so the thing is, first, before you are doing things data binding, you have to enable data binding over here. For data binding you have to add Kotlin comp and Kotlin Android over here, this is must. And after syncing you will you have to, for using data, which layout you have to use, you have to put a whole layout inside the layout box. After adding the layout box, the IDE will generate a binding class for you. After the binding class generated, you will set the binding class to set content view like this, and then if you want, you will create a view model and you set the view model over here. And you have to create, we just create one local variable over here. In the local variable, this is a dummy variable, we need to set some instance over this dummy variable. So this variable we are setting the instance, we create an instance and we setting here. And after setting this variable, we are using the variable for all the edit texts and click actions. So this click action will go to, we are running it over here. For if you want any constants over inside this click action, you can get it from view. Okay, so this is an overview of this whole video, this fine. Okay, I think this think you will like, you might like it. And this is the first time you are seeing this data binding, and it is so surprise for you in the sense, just click like. And if you have some more experience in data binding, just put it in a comment. We will discuss about it more about that. Thank you for watching this video, and hope you all good. Thank you.